It's the Sleepers Podcast, Wednesday, October 25th, coming to you live from Carter's home.
Man, home, absolute sweet home. I have my own coffee mug that honestly says it's an add to the cart kind of day. It's never really that day for me, but the coffee's hidden. I'm back home. I got my ring light. I got my microphone. I got the globe in the background. My aesthetic is back. I feel like I'm at home base right now. And I'm not going to lie, it feels great, Gregory.
I'm glad to see you there. Is home truly where the heart is for you?
I think my heart's kind of split up. It's like home, maybe like a basketball court, and then maybe like a sports book, a casino. But I think a majority of my heart is at home.
Okay. Oh, I mean, that's good to know. It's great to see your globe. I really missed your globe. I really missed the checkerboards behind you. Your room, no offense, looks a little dirty right now.
I mean, got back last night at like 9:30 p.m. Man, really cut me some slack.
Just made a mess as soon as you got back. You left it messy for a whole 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, have you ever unpacked after a long trip?
I don't know that my unpacking gets this messy though. Like, is the stuff behind you unpacking?
No, it's not. I can't lie to you, it's not.
Yeah, I've never seen a disheveled cupboard behind you, and apparently you left it this way for 3 weeks. That's sad.
Yeah, that's on me, to be honest.
Okay, understood. Well, let's move on. It feels good to be back with you. Just a quick addressing of Sleepers Nation real quick. This week we've been a little all over the place with Carter's travel schedule, and then just my work days have been in an odd spot. Some days I work at 8 a.m. for my job, and then some days I work at like 1 p.m. or 10 a.m. It's a lot easier to record on days I'm not working at 8 a.m. because I can record before work starts and we can take our time. When I'm working at 8 a.m., I have to like fit it in the middle of everything else while also being a work from home dad. And guess what? My daughter's growing and she's not just doing the same sleep habits that she did the first 5 months she was here. So it's been a messy week. Today we're recording like 2 hours later than we would have liked to. Appreciate Carter's flexibility in just making this work. But if you're getting grumpy, if you're like, where's the Sleepers episode? Why is this not coming out on time? Just know that we're trying. And I think, honestly, it's probably hurting us the most. It's probably affecting our views in a negative fashion with how spotty this has been. So we appreciate anybody who is still listening to this. And if you're upset with us, I'm sorry. We'll try to get in a more consistent rhythm once the season gets here. But quite frankly, I can't promise that because it's only going to get busier when the season gets here. And we're trying our damn best right now. Anything to add to this, Cart? Any comments from the blue collar podcaster himself?
Yeah, I mean, if you got something to actually say about that, you can come see me. For real.
Right, thank you.
Like,
that's not what I was hoping for, but thank you.
Dead ass. Like, I feel like people gotta cut us a little bit of slack here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're working hard. We're trying to make it work. We're doing this for y'all, and I love doing it for y'all. And we'll go any lengths to do it for y'all. So, just give us a little bit of slack, just a teeny tiny bit.
With that said, our Discord members are paying customers. They don't have to cut us any slack. They can be on our
no.
They can.
Oh, yeah. Please.
100%. Okay. Speaking of Discord, join the Discord link in the description in every video that we do. Carter, do you have a breakfast bit this morning?
No, I don't, because I planned on making an omelet, but I don't have any groceries at the house.
You gassed this up the last 24 hours that the breakfast bit would return. We'll ease you back in, man. I feel like you're coming off like an ACL injury or something, and we got to ease you back into the rotation. We can't start you and expect 32 minutes night one. Are you Jalen Llewellyn right now? Is that what this is?
Okay, and that's how you light a fire under the kid. That's exactly how you light a fire under me.
I feel like I need to drop all expectations for today's episode and just see where it goes.
That's crazy.
Do you have a YouTube comment of the day?
I do.
Okay. We're back in it.
Okay, I got two of them, actually. First one actually comes from a video that we did before Summer League that I just want to bring back to the light because someone just commented on it. Maybe it's just circling around for some reason. That Kid Gorgeous is an A++ nickname for Keontae George. I feel like that gets overlooked a little bit. That really needs to stick. That's the first comment. And then the other comment comes from our friends over at Boiler in the Stands. Craig Bauer said, all I can think about with Greg's background is Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar as he tries to push the book off the shelf. You got to walk me through that. What does that mean? I mean, Matthew McConaughey's a great, handsome actor, so that has to feel good for you, right?
So great movie, first of all. I love that comp. Interstellar's in my top 10 movies, but again, I'm a Nolan guy, so you got to throw out 90% of what I say when it comes to movies. Also, just want this known, the daughter in Interstellar, Matthew McConaughey's daughter, her name is Murph, which I did not know when we named our daughter Murphy. But Interstellar went from like my 10th favorite movie to like my 4th favorite movie once I realized that my daughter's name was the name of the daughter in the movie, who just so happens, by the way, to be the heart of the movie. I mean, this sweet girl, the story about her trying to reconnect with her father is the entire purpose of the movie. It's not about outer space. It's not about Anne Hathaway, okay? Don't get me wrong. Those are great moments. But this is a story about a father's love for his daughter named Murphy. It resonates. It's beautiful. So, yeah, I like that comp, Craig Bowers. Thank you. And, yeah, I will probably record from there a couple other times in the future because that's my parents' house. And honestly, the internet there, way better than the internet here, by the way. We get episodes out like 3 hours earlier when I'm at my parents' house versus here.
Wow. Shout out to Connie and Dave with the high speed.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but it was impressive stuff. Oh, go listen.
You want to know why it's so great over there, though?
Why?
Because Connie and Dave are so pure and special on their internet. Like, I feel like they get it done. They get what they have to get done. Your internet is constantly working 24/7, late into the hours sometimes on some days, maybe a little bit less now that our beautiful Queen Murphy's in the picture. But there was nights when that internet was working till 3 a.m. sometimes. And it had to be.
I've put it to the test through the years. That's for sure. Yeah, we need to throw my internet a retirement party whenever that day comes, but hopefully it never comes. Also, shout out Craig Bowers, Boilers in the Stands. They did a little rebrand. They used to be Brags in the Stands for their Purdue coverage. Now they do Boilers in the Stands. That's Joe Jackson. That's Greg Braggs. And then that's Keith Bowers. Craig Bowers. Jesus, I'm giving Craig a plug here and I misname him. Sorry, that's horrible of me. But they just had Matt Painter on their show. And we say this a lot about like other shows, like, oh, we listen to their shows. I genuinely love their show. I listen to anything those guys do. It's really, really good. They had us on last season. So if you're a Purdue fan listening to this show that for some reason isn't listening to Boilers in the Stands, go listen to it. The Matt Painter episode was fire. And I think we might be doing something with Joe if we can get times coordinated. But also, I think you are the one who hasn't responded on times. So
No, I did. In the DM?
Check the DM. Go ahead. Give me a live check of this DM and tell me where we're at.
Sorry, I need to scroll past a couple of the Michigan State Twitter accounts that DM me that are puppies. This is 11 to 10. Okay, yeah.
You don't want to read these now that you've seen them?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Listen, travel. Like we said, we're scrambling, folks. We're doing our best.
I'm responding right now, though, by the way.
Let's jump into the Discord. Starting with just a welcoming, nice message from Fam. Fam says, welcome back to the Midwest, Carter. How's it feel to be back from Houston, Atlanta, Vegas?
It feels great. Home slaps. Home really, really slaps. I think home is underrated in general, but home really slaps after vacation.
He followed that up with, what's the % chance the breakfast bit makes a return in 2023? You said it returns tomorrow. Today is now tomorrow, and there is no breakfast bit.
When I said that, I was on West Coast time, so it's like 3 hours behind. So technically, if I bring it back tomorrow, I'm still good.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like you're pulling some, like, I wasn't aware of energy. Like, you're pulling some Jim Harbaugh. Like, I had no idea that I hired a military guy to run a cheating operation for 4 years.
At least I'd be a part of a winning football program.
I had no idea that I committed to doing the breakfast bit tomorrow. That's on me. Is it Sifried? Sifried says, which team would benefit more from having Cooper Flag, Duke or UConn? Then he goes on to say, additionally, there's been discourse between the two fan bases on Flag's photo shoots with each team's respective awards. So UConn had him with like the national title trophies. Then Duke made him do the exact same pose with like 30 trophies behind him. They want to know, what are our thoughts on what is essentially a quantity versus quality argument, the number of the awards in the frame, or does it even matter?
To me personally, that doesn't matter. Honestly, none of those photo shoots honestly really even matter to me. I think they're cool for the kids to post on IG, and you can throw on all the gear. And some teams and social media like teams do have some pretty good ideas as far as what they do with those pictures. But unless a recruit's doing something funny or like trolling, like Dylan Harper did when he did his Indiana visit, then it doesn't really move me or do anything for me.
Okay. I feel like you would have been a big like Instagram on a visit guy.
Oh, a massive.
Yeah. Like, what would your strategy have been?
My main strategy would have been not to put hashtag not committed on any of my posts, so people just wonder if I committed or not.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I liked both of these pictures. I always liked the rebuttal more than the first one. Like, UConn just like, oh, genuinely, like, look at our trophies. That's a cute little pic. Sure, I get it. You win championships. I love that Duke was petty enough to be like, yeah, we have more trophies than you. I absolutely love it.
Can I get one more thought on this though?
Please.
How do you feel about when the family members get in full jerseys?
It's a no for me, dog.
Yeah, like there's a like
Yeah.
I'm not saying this in a hurtful way, but like one of the Flag brothers who's not Ace comes out of nowhere. Maybe looks like he's a little bit older. I don't, he might not be, but he looks older. And he just looks it just looks so weird that he's in a full Duke jersey.
Yeah, I don't like that. But also it's Cooper Flag, so I don't blame Duke for trying to pull that move. Like, go ahead and get Granny out here in a jersey. Like, you got any nieces? Let's bring your 1-year-old niece out here and get her in a full-on Duke suit. Who would benefit more from Cooper Flag? I think it's definitely UConn, right?
Yeah, I think it's UConn because one, just that level of recruit going to UConn, also beating out Duke for that. I mean, it would just be special. Also, I truly believe that there'd be a small chance that they could get Klingon back
That's
if
what I was
Flag
gonna say.
comes.
I think it would be, if Cooper Flag chose UConn, it would only be under the assumption that I want to play with Donovan Klingon, which would mean the Klingon family would need to convince Cooper Flag that that was even on the table, which is partially why I think he's probably going to end up at Duke here, to be honest, because I think Donovan Klingon knows he can be a lottery pick because he's one of the best 5 players in the Big East, by the way. You see what I did there? You see that little, you see what I
Yeah.
did there?
Yeah.
Travis Nelson jumps in. He says, a great question. He's giving Frisbee some love for the curious on your thoughts on coaching question from yesterday. So Travis just wants to say that's one of the better, well thought questions I've seen in here. I just wanted to say that. Wholeheartedly agree. By the way, Frisbee, hit us with some more questions because that one was really, really good. Guy, sleepers guy, list guy, who's going to make an appearance later in this episode, says, what are your guys' favorite and least favorite lists that I've made?
I think the favorite, at least for me so far, is probably the under 6 foot list. I think that was my favorite so far. The worst one, probably the biggest question mark list, which we're not going to release because we don't like it.
Yeah, breaking news. Sorry, Guy. We'll text offline about it. My favorite list of guys' list by far has been Guy's bucket list. One, because I just thought it was hilarious that Guy had a bucket list and it wasn't just a bucket list, it was a bucket. Two, yeah, I don't love the question mark list. I like the intent of it a lot. The execution was lacking, in my opinion. I probably should have worked with you a little more direction on what I would have liked to see with that. But I was thinking I could just go in and like tweak some things. I tried to this morning because we were going to do it for the show, and just couldn't get it in a place that I felt pretty good about. So a little behind the curtains on our working relationship here with Guy. Guy also, I mean, kind of hazed us a little bit yesterday. You want to talk about Guy for a second? Guy's running a little hot right now.
Yeah, Guy chirped us. Guy chirped us at a low moment too.
I'm
We don't
okay
like
with
that.
being chirped by Guy though. Like
Oh yeah.
I'm perfectly okay with being chirped. So the chirp was basically we were supposed to run Guy's list on Tuesday, and then the Big East Media Day stuff happened where they just left Klingon and Kolik off the team. And I was like, we're gonna bump the list, Guy. Like we need this instead. This is crazy. So we get the episode out. episode does really, really poorly from a view perspective compared to the previous day and compared to a lot of days lately. Get a text from Guy like 7:30 range last night Eastern time. Basically, damn, like views say y'all probably should have ran my list. Like, first off, kudos, Guy. Probably accurate there. We're gonna run your list today. I have no problem with being chirped. But with that said, we got some other list, guys. Just throwing that, like, we got some other. Don't get too full of yourself with your list if we're doing like 400 views a list segment right now.
Yeah. Also, looking at history of chirps against, we welcome all chirps.
Mm-hmm.
We always welcome chirps. But just know that when you chirp the sleepers, typically we might do a little chirp back. Okay. So it happens. Just know that. And usually we always get the last chirp. Typically.
With that said, Guy is an integral part of our team. We're so thankful for all the work that Guy has done. Guy, I love you. Straight up, I love you. I appreciate the chirp. It was an accurate chirp. You are free to chirp us publicly and privately. But Booby's doing some things. Let's just say, like, Booby's looking like a 5-star point guard recruit. And I mean, no offense to your game right now, Guy, because you're our point guard. There's a lot of lists out there is all I'm saying. I would love for a list that we do on the show to do as many views as our Illinois or our Mackenzie and Baco segment did the day before that didn't involve lists. If we ever do a list video with that many views, then our lists are doing really well. Love you, Guy. All right. Next comment from Booby. Oh, what do you know? Booby jumps in. Day 11, Washington guard Corin Johnson. Johnson was overlooked last year because of other freshman Keon Minifield. We love Minifield here. But Johnson is still at Washington, has a good chance to have a nice sophomore leap. I like the name Corin. I don't know anything about this guy. I don't like a potential leap from a Washington player, though.
Yeah. Also don't like, I think you need to look at Washington's team makeup as well. That can really affect some people's leaps.
Yeah. Okay. Is that a Jamal line?
No, that was a Severe Wheeler line.
Oh, I like that. Derek jumps in. He says, what are your 5 best what-ifs for college basketball? Example, what if Michigan State got Jabari Parker? What if Michigan admissions weren't the leaders in the best and let Terrence Shannon Jr. in? What if Painter leaves for Missouri in 2011?
Okay, the biggest what if that comes to my mind right away is what if Matt McQuaid hit that corner 3 against Texas Tech? That one will forever just sit with me. I don't want to make this all Michigan State, but like, what if the tournament wasn't canceled? Obviously, that's going to be in there.
Yeah, automatic natty that year for the 13th ranked team.
Not automatic natty, just like what if? So we can
at the right time.
So we can put to bed all the inferences about what would have happened.
I would argue Cassius got to go out a winner because that tournament didn't occur. Imagine if he got upset in round 1, Cart.
We'll never know because it's a what if.
Yeah, but what a negative what if. Like, God, he was robbed of that national title for the 13th ranked team in the country. God, I hate it every day. I lose sleep about it. Yeah, I mean, the Michigan one, Derek nailed. Terrence Shannon not being let in, I think totally shifts the last 2 years of the Juwan Howard era. That team would have been really good. He did everything that team was lacking. I'll throw another crazy one out. What if Michigan had just taken Amani Bates last year? Imagine throwing Amani into the chaos that was Michigan basketball last year. It could have gotten.
It would have been fun.
It could have gotten even worse, or it could, like, do you see what Amani's doing in Cleveland right now? He's hooping. Like,
it would have been fun.
You can't tell me his talent wouldn't help that team. And then I think Coy called this out in a different channel. I saw a little bit of it this morning, but the real one is like, what if Bill Self didn't leave Illinois so fast? If Bill Self had been coaching during those years in the early 2000s for another 5 years, Illinois might have a natty. They might.
Yeah. Can I throw in one more? Last one?
Please.
This is actually a high school recruiting one. So this could happen a lot because this could be like a what if a kid went here? What if a kid didn't go to the G League? I forgot what recruiting class it exactly was, but Jalen Green was going to go to Auburn, and the backcourt would have been Sharif Cooper and Jalen Green. That would have been one of our favorite teams.
Yeah, that would have been really fun for sure. He would have been incredible. What if Jaren Jackson just was on the court and not on the bench against Syracuse is one I often think about. Um,
What if Tum Tum didn't go to Michigan State?
I have one. This is actually like a Michigan State versus Michigan one. I don't know how much people know about this whole thing, but Beeline was after Cassius Winston and Josh Langford. Like this was when Beeline had some big recruiting successes before that. Like he had just won Walton and Irvin. He had some head-to-head stuff with Izzo that had actually worked in his favor. And then he had like 2 years of down years where he got kind of screwed. And Josh Langford and Cassius Winston were like priority targets early in the cycle. He got a commitment from Tyus Battle, who ended up at Syracuse, and then Battle like decommitted, I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to remember what exactly happened, but it resulted in Langford going to Michigan State and Tyus Battle decommitting from Michigan, and then Michigan didn't have a wing. I'm pretty sure Michigan ended up taking Xavier Simpson quickly before Cassius had made a decision because of how they were burned from Tyus Battle. And you can certainly think about how things would have swung had Michigan had Cassius Winston instead of Xavier Simpson during those years.
Yeah, I mean, he still had some good years with Xavier Simpson.
He's had some very good years, made a national championship.
Yeah,
but
so it's can't be that bad.
It's not bad. Just
what if?
I mean, like I don't know what Michigan State would have done. I don't know who the backup targets were, but like if you took Cash from Michigan State, put him on Michigan, on the teams that also conveniently had like Jordan Poole and Bryce Dacus and Charles Matthews and Mo Wagner. Like,
yeah,
it's a thing. It's a thing. Okay. That's fun. What ifs? We could do that for a whole episode. Ulamog says, what would have to happen in the game tonight for you to have immediate concerns about the Michigan State basketball team? I think we're going to do basically a whole show on this today. So let's save our thoughts for that. And then Illini Trav, back to Derek's question. He says, what if Eric Gordon never decommitted from Illinois? I didn't know that Eric Gordon did commit to Illinois.
Neither did I.
It's a fun
That's
one.
crazy. That's really fun.
I'm mad at Eric Gordon right now, though. I needed 15 points from him last night, and he missed like 11 shots, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, 2 for 14.
Oh my God, brutal. Like right play, wrong result. I really had some parlays dialed in on like guys I thought would be high usage, and they just missed a bunch of shots. Like crushing. Your Nurkic hurt us both.
Yep, he did. I was 4 Nurkic points short and 1 Kevin Durant 3 short from 10 to win 500.
Yeah, it's brutal. Brutal. Okay, here we are. Let's move. Today's episode, I think we're going to try, like it might look structurally the same as other episodes we've done, but in reality, our intent is to have this be a Michigan State season preview. A lot of people have asked us, hey, what's happening with Unscripted? For those that don't know, Unscripted was our Michigan State basketball podcast that we have done the last 2 years with the Field of 68 network. I don't know if I'm being too pointed or what, or I don't know. I'm just going to say what's happened here. We are not planning on doing Unscripted. I have not talked to Rob or Jeff about Unscripted at all. Last that I heard, they were thinking about moving away from some of the team-specific stuff, but they've started rolling out a lot of team-specific podcasts that are brand new for other teams, which are all great, including Riley Davis's North Carolina one. We're excited about that. That's awesome for everybody. We just haven't talked to him about it. I don't know if if Rob and Jeff are expecting Unscripted from us this year. They might be. I might get a text in a week like, where's your Unscripted episode? In which case I'm going to respond and be like, we're not doing Unscripted this year. Bottom line is we just would rather run that through our channel now. So it's not going to be branded the same way. It's not going to have its own Apple Podcast feed. It's not going to have any of the special stuff that Unscripted had as an isolated show. I know that might frustrate some of our Michigan State fan listeners. I apologize in advance for that, but we still fully intend on doing the same amount of time and dedication and coverage of Michigan State basketball specifically on a week-to-week basis that we did for Unscripted, but we're just going to do it on the Sleepers podcast now as part of the show. So did I encompass everything? I mean, you are the voice of Michigan State from this show. Does that cover everything?
That about covers everything, because I feel like we're going to do the same thing that we would do on Unscripted here. And trust me, there will always be plenty of Michigan State basketball talk on this podcast, unscripted or not. Honestly, it works out better because we weren't able to have as much Michigan State basketball talk on our channel because we were filtering people to unscripted. And I think it'll be funny that even if we don't get asked, like we might see like MSU Daily and Spiro doing the next episodes of Unscripted. So if you see that, I highly recommend coming to us first and then maybe going and checking out Unscripted, or check out both, but us first.
Is this a holdout situation from you when it comes to the good people at the Field of 68?
I mean, I can hold out as long as possible, especially because it's no real incentive to hold in. So yeah.
We love those guys. They're doing great work. Obviously, if you're a college basketball fan, you should be paying close attention to everything the Field of 68 is doing. And in fact, there probably will be some sort of crossover with us in various ways. And at minimum, I will be hosting some shows on Field of 68 as usual with the After Dark series. But yeah, bottom line, unscripted, no more with the Field of 68. Michigan State season preview right here on Sleepers Podcast. Let's get into it. The first exhibition game is tonight. I don't even know who they play. That's the lack of preparation I brought.
They play Hillsdale, the D2 Hillsdale Chargers.
Give me the Hillsdale scout. What's Hillsdale looking like?
It's a bunch of it's a bunch of Russell birds.
That scares me a little bit.
But that might not be what it actually is. I'm going off the time because I actually played Hillsdale like once or twice, like in an exhibition or scrimmage type situation at Albion. They were pretty close to there. But really good, successful Division II program in Michigan. They get a lot of guys there. And this is just me speaking on experience. Typically, they have taller, lankier, white wings who can shoot and are also athletic. So that's kind of where I'm getting the Russell Bird comp from. Like they get a lot of guys from like Detroit Catholic Central, guys that are Michigan guys too. So it's a cool experience for them. I'm sure they're actually going to be pretty fired up to play because I think there's probably a lot of Hillsdale basketball players who were Michigan State fans growing up or are Michigan State fans or Michigan kids in general. So those exhibition games, I think always carry a little bit more weight. Now, I don't think Michigan State should be worried at all about this game. It should be a game they win easily, have a lot of fun. You should see some things, it could be a fun game to see the freshmen play in when they're getting out in the open court and having fun. But there'll definitely be an incentive for this Hillsdale team to, play well, being Michigan kids.
I'm looking at their roster right now. I want to do some name reading for a second, but I also just realized a kid that tortured my teams is on this team. Charles Woodhams. He played at Otsego. I've played pickup run with him at Bronson a bunch. Killer. Kid's an absolute killer. He's a sophomore guard for this team. I don't know how much he'll see the floor, but
how many Kyles do they have on the roster?
The very first name listed on the roster, not a joke, is Kyle Gosler. Here, I just want to read some names for you. Kyle Gosler, Jack Golke, Charles Woodhams, Cole McWhinney. That's double Coles for you. Walt Mattingly, Peter Kaltoff, Ashton Janowski, Jacob Nagobi, Samuel Vasiu, Garrett Bolte, Noah Applegate, and Eric Radicevic. It's a great roster names-wise. But shout out the Woodhams family, by the way, tormented me, like I said. Glad to see you're not see you go anymore. Michigan State should be great. We know that. Should we do big picture stuff? I feel like let's touch on tonight's game quickly. But tonight's game doesn't really matter much. There's nothing you're going to see in tonight's game that is going to swing you anywhere off of the hype for this season, right?
No, not a chance. I know there will be overreactions if this game's close the whole game, but I don't truly think there's anything that could necessarily swing me one way or the other. Because, for example, you said you want to see Cohen Carr do more things besides dunk. This is a great team for him to do. He doesn't have to do anything but dunk because there's not a player on that team that can physically keep up with him or do other things with him. Like he will get a lot of dunks and get to the basket this game. Like this is the perfect game for that. I'm definitely more intrigued to see the exhibition game Sunday, the charity one against Tennessee. It's obviously a different level team, a lot of hype coming in with Tennessee. But there's nothing really tonight that's going to swing me one way or the other because let's look at it this way. If Xavier Booker does some things, if Cohen Carr does some things, if Jeremy Fears does some things, I'm going to be like, that's great. It's against Hillsdale. they should be doing those things. And like I said, I respect Hillsdale as a basketball program, but it's just different for Michigan State. So they should be doing those things. So I just don't necessarily think this game could swing me one way or the other, because if I'm expecting these players to do certain things against Hillsdale, then it's like there's nothing they can do to prove me right necessarily or prove me wrong. They just got to do what they do, and they will.
Okay. Can I play a on the fly game? Can I throw a game at you?
Mm-hmm.
I have 5 questions for you about Michigan State basketball tonight against
Did you
Hillsdale.
just make these up too?
I don't even have them made up. I have 3, and I'm just going to go.
Okay. Okay.
Question number 1. Who is the first player off the bench tonight?
Carson Cooper.
Okay. Fascinating. Was that a tough decision for you, or you think that's the clear first name off the bench?
Oh, 17-minute mark. You can book it that Carson Cooper will be at the table ready to come in.
I'll take the under on set. I think like 18-20. I think Carson's running. Okay. Who checks into the game first? Jeremy Fears or Xavier Booker?
Xavier Booker does.
Ooh. Okay. Talk me through that one.
I think that Xavier Booker checks in for Malik Hall. And I think that happens before one of the guards come off.
Okay. So you think we're cycling both center and power forward?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in response to that, then, on the fly again, third question. Who comes into the game first, Xavier Booker or Cohen Carr? Because it could be Cohen at the 4, right?
It could, yeah.
Especially now that we know Jackson Kohler's not playing, because maybe they're going to push Xavier Booker to the 5.
Yeah, I'm actually really interested to see where Cohen Carr comes in, because from everything that I've heard from the people I talked to who've like watched some scrimmages, practices, things like that, there's no lean on whether Cohen Carr is going to come in at the 3 or the 4. Like, it's been very, very split so far. So
I think he's going to play both, though. Is the thing. Like,
yeah.
I don't think you even need to define him as one. I think he's just going to play. It's like Malik Hall. He's played both the 3 and the 4.
Yeah, I think the freshman bench rotation as far as who comes in first will go Xavier Booker, Cohen Carr, Jeremy Fears.
Okay, Booker before Carr. I hope that's what happens. I think Cohen Carr will be the first freshman into the game, though, and I'm a little nervous about that, but we'll see. Who leads the team in scoring tonight?
Hogard.
Not Tyson.
No, not Tyson. I think Hogard does.
He's got a message to prove.
Yeah, and I think he's going to see some guy named Applegate in front of him and take that as disrespect.
Okay. This is not one of my questions, but it's a bonus question. Is Tyson wearing a headband tonight?
Yes.
That really swings things mentally for this team, right?
Yeah, I need Jaden to get the braids back.
Okay, I have one more question, then I have one more bonus question. Does anybody get a DNP tonight? Anybody on the roster that includes Steven Izzo and Nick Sanders? Does anyone on this roster not take off the tracksuit tonight?
No, I think everybody gets in tonight.
Every single player, except for Jackson Kohler because he's in a boot.
Yeah, I think every player that is dressed and has a uniform on gets in tonight.
Okay. I think there's one player who won't.
Garrett?
I think Garrick Norman will not play tonight because I don't believe the plan is for Garrick Norman to play at all. That's my body language. First test of my body language X. Although, if they're redshirting him, can't he play the exhibition still? Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, I think so. Honestly, I think he can still play technically some regular season games before he burns his red. Like, there's a certain threshold, but I think he can actually play a little bit before he redshirts.
Okay. So I'll stick to the prediction that he's not going to play tonight just to do it. But I want to know that even if he does play, I get to still run this prediction for like another month until it's not dead.
I'll allow it.
Final question for me, another minutes head to head. Who checks into the game first? Trey Holloman or Jeremy Fears?
Do I have to answer this what I think it's going to be or what I
You got to
want?
be honest. You got to be honest.
Probably going to be Trey Holloman.
I'm gonna have a shot ready for the FaceTime when you and I are both watching this, realizing that Holloman's in the game and Jeremy Fears hasn't played yet. Man, yeah, that could hurt. Okay, one more bonus question. This rotation stuff is so fun. Izzo has so many puzzle pieces to work with. Who's the first guard that checks out of the game? Is he subbing AJ out first and Fears is running the show?
Is Jaden in this?
Jaden's in this, but I don't know if you know this card. Jaden came back to put himself on the NBA radar. Can't do that from the bench at the 3. So
Jaden will get subbed out first because he's in foul trouble.
Such garbage if that's what happens.
He's gonna get two quick fouls.
Y'all really just rope-a-dope this man into come back. We'll get you to the league just to sub him out first and never play him at the guard spot.
I said it's because foul trouble.
Okay. All right. It'll be really interesting. I think the more we're talking this through, the way he handles the guards, I think is the thing I'm most intrigued by, because even though we're saying like, oh, we want to see Booker early, or we think we're going to see Carr early, if he decided like pre-planned that we're going to cycle AJ out first, it would be Fears who could be into the game like 3 minutes into the game, right? Like they could have a pre-planned thing of like AJ is going to come out and Fears is going to come in at the 4-minute mark. And I think that would happen before anything happens in the front court. But I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know what I would do. Honestly, I might take Tyson out first. Just like National Player of the Year, rest him, be ready in crunch time. We don't need you at the 16-minute mark every game. I don't know.
Yeah, I respect that. Is just to flip this back on you a little bit, is there anything that can happen one way or the other to swing you on Michigan State tonight?
What do you mean swing?
Because I feel like there is. I feel like there's a way that Michigan State approaches this game that has you more in or more out on them.
So in either direction?
Yeah. So like I think that even though it's early on and it's an exhibition, I think that you might be swung based on maybe rotations or things that you see from players. Maybe more so rotations than things you see from players.
I won't say there's anything that could drastically swing this negatively for me, because I think in my head, I'm not expecting Michigan State to be like a 1 seed at the end of the year. I think they should be the preseason 4th ranked team in the country. But like if they live up to that, great. If they don't, I don't think it's a disappointing year. I think Purdue's clearly better. And at the end of the day, this team should be like a 2 or a 3 seed. I don't think there's anything I could see tonight that would move me off of that. However, the thing I am most scared about is if Xavier Booker doesn't play center at all. Like if all of Xavier Booker's minutes come at the 4, even while Jackson Kohler is not playing, then I will be very scared. Because if you're telling me like the plan from the coaching staff is 40 combined minutes of Mady Sissoko and Carson Cooper, when it really should be like 20 max, maybe less, that would really, really scare me.
Okay. All right. I like that. Last thing I want to do here, because I think we might be a Genie podcast or a lamp podcast. I had this lamp right here. Rub it like, you know what I'm saying? Bring the Genie out. Come out. I'll give you 3 wishes for the game tonight. I have 3 in my head that I want right now that I can already think of. So I'll go first. 3 wishes for tonight's game. I want to see at least, you know what? I won't put a minutes restriction on it, but I want to see a run where the 3 freshmen are on the floor at the same time. Like I want to see Jeremy Fears.
The 3 freshmen?
Yes. I think it's more realistic.
Not the 4 freshmen.
I think it's more realistic that I see the 3 freshmen. Would I love to see 4? Absolutely. But I think 3 is more realistic in my wish here. And I want to see them get run at the same time for an extended period of time. I want to see AJ not use tonight as a chance to prove that he has a better 3-point shot. There's not a guard that is strong enough to fuck with him on Hillsdale. I've just tried to stop using the F word on this podcast. I'm so sorry, Connie. But there's not a guard that on that Hillsdale team that will require you to settle. I do not need you gunning 3s. That's not what this team needs. Would I love to see an improved 3-point shot? Have I seen that in scrimmages and things like that? Yes. Does not need to be a focal point of this game. And then to take one of your wishes, it would be also, I need Xavier Booker at the 5. because at the end of the season, I think that the best lineup with this team is Xavier Booker playing the 5, and that needs to start tonight. Getting run like that. Those are my 3.
Okay, I like that. Do you want me to answer my 3 wishes from like a genuine, kind, like basketball fan perspective, or do you want me to use my 3 wishes as like a devious Michigan fan who's preying on your downfall?
Devious Michigan fans playing on my downfall.
All right. Well, I was honestly mentally prepared for the other side of this. So let me think of this on the fly. I would love to see Mady Sissoko assert his will in this game. I would like to see Mady Sissoko for 28 plus minutes. I would like to see him on the perimeter guarding. I would like to see them running some sets, get him involved, really use him as a low post scorer. I'd like to see some added emphasis on Mady Sissoko overall as an important member of this team. I would like to see. I would like to see Trey Holloman be not just the first guard off the bench, but really a staple of this rotation. I think the benefit of Trey Holloman is that he can play the 1, 2, and the 3. Jeremy Fears, really, you're only going to play him at point guard, and it's a lot. It's a lot to ask a freshman, an 18-year-old kid, to run the show in a Tom Izzo offense. So, I would rather them lean into Trey Holloman, maybe get him instead of like 5 minutes off the bench, get him like 20, 25, spread out across the 1, 2, and the 3, back up AJ and Tyson and Jaden, and let's bring Jeremy Fears along slowly because there's no rush here. He's got 4 years to figure this out. And then third, I'd really like to see them maybe try some oversized front court. Like everybody talks about the guards on this team, like, oh, how good are they? We play 3-point guards. We're Baylor 2.0. I think they should go the other direction, Cart. I'd like to see maybe like some Mady and Carson lineups together. I think Cohen Carr has the type of game you can slide him down, maybe play him at like the 2. So I'm envisioning something of like, Malik Hall, Cohen Carr, Mady Sissoko, Carson Cooper, and then pick a point guard. I don't know. I'll just pick a name, Trey Holloman. I think that would be a really fun lineup.
I know I said devious, but my brother in Christ.
The last one was stretching it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, wow.
I just want to see everybody stay happy and healthy.
Who was at the 3 in that lineup?
I said Cohen Carr, or I said Malik Hall, but I should have flipped that. Malik Hall at the 2, Cohen Carr at the 3.
That's insane.
A lot, man. It's a lot.
Also, why is there a slight feeling inside of me that we might see that?
We won't see that. If they were going to do something like that, they would play it with Booker. But you might see like Malik Hall, Carr, Booker in a center, which would be kind of crazy.
Yeah, that'd be
that, man, that's the thing. Like I'm talking through this, even that, like in past years when I was joking about like doomsday lineups or complaining about it genuinely, it was like players that don't belong on the floor. Even if that's the lineup, like if that's the worst case lineup we can see tonight, that's a fun ass talented lineup.
Yeah, true.
Like y'all are in a really good spot. I know we all know that, but we've come so far from the Max Christie, Gay Brown teams. We really have.
I used to pray for times like this, man.
It's special stuff. Should we do anything big picture? I feel like I was going to try to respond to your game there with another game. I feel like we're just gaming each other in circles right now. It's kind of fun. Do you want to do anything big picture on the season, though? I feel like we've, I don't know, appropriately covered Hillsdale.
I would like to wait for big picture after the Tennessee game if I could.
Oh, I like that approach, actually.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe Monday we'll save a segment for big picture stuff, with also reaction to 2 games.
Cool. All right. We'll save it. And I feel like we've done enough predictions. I was going to hit you with like a bold prediction to end the episode, but I feel like we've done enough predictions.
Michigan State minus 29.5. Do they cover
tonight?
Yeah, that's not the spread. Yeah. That's just me coming up with that.
Yes, of course. The spread would be like 49.5, I think, minimum.
Really? Okay.
It's Hillsdale, Cart.
Scrappy.
What are you scoring against Hillsdale right now?
I don't know, probably not a lot.
Honestly, you should go to this game to scout for your future men's league teammates.
Hey, man, put some respect on Hillsdale's name. They got some hoopers.
I know. Believe me, Woodham's killed me. I still have nightmares of Charlie Woodham's, man. That kid's a killer. He's
Charlie Williams might be a pro at some level.
If Pierre Brooks was still on this team, Charlie Woodham's is a better player than Pierre Brooks.
Oh, that's crazy.
It is crazy. It's not accurate at all, but I'm trying to sell some hype for the game tonight. Okay. This is fun. Michigan State's going to be really fun to talk about. I can't wait to do it all season long. And like we said, if any of our Unscripted listeners or people that like sleepers from Unscripted want more from us, you can expect full at least 30-minute segments talking about Michigan State on a week-to-week basis, probably more since we do this daily on the Sleepers podcast now. So hopefully you're not too disappointed that it's just going to look a little different in the way we package it this year. Go green, go white. Woof, woof. I just hope everybody plays by the rules and has a fun time tonight. And maybe let's get our video boards under control too. I know they got a nice new Jumbotron. We don't need any pregame trivia at the Brez tonight.
Zero. They have a chance to redeem themselves though.
Yes, they do. I hope it goes well. Let's move on. Let's do Guy's list. Guy, our list guy, back with another list. First off, shout out Guy. Guy said he had a busy week. He came in prepared. He hit us with 2 different lists at the front end of this week. He's really putting the hours in. We appreciate that from Guy, as always. This is Guy's now or never list, a.k.a. guys who have been on breakout watch for multiple seasons. They're constantly on the offseason like, this guy is going to explode, have a great season. And then it just doesn't really happen. And then it happens again and again. You repeat the process of like, no, this is the year. And then maybe it hasn't happened. So maybe not the greatest thing as a player to find yourself on this list. But I will add, if you're on this list, it means that we still believe the breakout could happen. Like we would not allow any names on this list that are guys we just don't believe in as players. It's just now or never. Like you're running out of opportunities to be the breakout guy, and here you are. So here are the 10 names on guys now or never list. Shout out to Guy. Reese Beekman, Virginia. Harrison Ingram at 2. CJ Frederick at 3. He's now at Cincinnati. Hakeem Hart at 4. Malik Hall at 5. Javon Quinterly at 6. Eddie Lampkin at 7. RJ Melendez at 8, Trey Jackson from Michigan at 9, Jadon Ledee at 10 for San Diego State. And then we have 2 honorable mentions for this list, Severe Wheeler at Washington and Ethan Morton at Purdue. Your thoughts, Cart?
Jadon Ledee needs to be number 1 on this list. I have been told for years and years that this man is an athletic monster. He's shaped like a Greek god. He's going to be a guy. He's an NBA guy. He's a first-team all-conference type of guy. I have yet to see it. I really would want to see it. I actually think he had a pretty good exhibition game, had some moments last season. But there's a couple guys on here I think that if it is now, it could really, really raise the ceilings of their teams. So the 2 guys that I want to shout out here are Harrison Ingram. I think that Harrison Ingram could be very integral to UNC success. And I would bet on him actually being the now guy, finally being on a winning team, being with North Carolina. And then Malik Hall as well. I truly think that Malik Hall could swing the ceiling of this team more than Michigan State fans want to admit. Because if we can just get some consistency, that's it. I'm not asking for just absolute all Big Ten level type play that some people are asking for. Just straight up consistency and being a good leader and locker room guy would be massive from Malik Hall. I'm still a little bit scared of the jump shot. It seems to still have a really, really bad hitch for some reason. But we'll see what happens with that. But I think that I love the list, but I think that Harrison Ingram and Malik Hall are 2 guys that I would point out as guys that could really raise the ceiling of the teams they play on if they are those now guys.
Yeah, I like a lot of these names. I actually like this list a lot because I like the players on this list, and I still believe in the players on this list. And when you say Ledee should be at 1, my wish to Guy, when he was like, how should I structure this? How should I put the order? Was put the best player at 1, which is why Reese Beekman is at 1. It's not necessarily like an indictment on the fact they haven't broken out that they're not at 1. It's more just like, I think this is the best player on his list. And I think Reese Beekman could be really, really good, but there's still a little like shadow of a doubt. Like he's not a pure, that guy's guaranteed going to break out the way like a Riley Kugel is. He's just like, he's going to have a chance and he kind of has to be good. We just don't know if he's going to be good yet. Harrison Ingram, I wanted at Michigan bad, man. Like I really thought he would have swung things massively for the Wolverines if they were able to acquire him. And I like, it never felt to me like, I know he ended up in North Carolina, but it never felt like when he hit the portal that he was like the hottest name and a bunch of teams were after him. Although I guess it was North Carolina and Kansas, so maybe I shouldn't like downplay that. But I feel like there was like a negative connotation almost with Harrison Ingram, even in North Carolina circles of like, who are we getting and what are our options? And I never really understood that. I think he's going to be fantastic for them. Down that list though, outside of the top two, I don't know that I believe in a lot of these guys. And I don't mean that harshly, but CJ Frederick really violated my trust. When he went to Kentucky and just wasn't good, like I was gassing that kid up. I thought as a freshman, he was phenomenal at Iowa. This was back in my Iowa fan days. And then, you know, he leaves for Kentucky. I'm like, oh, I mean, great move. He's a superstar. He was never heard from again. And I know there's a lot of reasons for that, but I just like, it's a name on paper you really want to believe in. And I don't know what the substance is behind it. Everybody else on this list, I don't think I do believe in. Like, I know Trey Jackson looks good for Michigan. I'm not really buying him. RJ Melendez is not the next AirPods. I'm sorry. Even if I've hinted at that in the past, it's not going to happen. I like Lampkin's a productive player. He's obviously pretty good, but Malik Hall has always left you wanting more. I've been saying that for years. Hakeem Hart, people acted like was this massive departure for Maryland. Really don't see it. I think he's a fifth option type and then just an okay one at best. And then, I mean, the big swing name here is Javon Quinterly, which like, what do you do with Javon Quinterly these days? Like, are you still on Jelly fam?
No, it's 2023. It's 2023, and that guy averaged 9 and 4 last year.
Yeah, we kind of talked about this earlier.
Top 20 point guard
in
the country, though.
He's a top 20 point guard.
There is one glaring mistake here that I didn't notice on here. And this has no indictment on the player at all. But if I'm a Purdue fan, I don't want Ethan Morton to break out. I want less Ethan Morton.
That's interesting. What does that mean? I think I agree with you, but like, I guess you mean like his entire role you want diminished in the best case version of Purdue? Like he's not playing?
I wouldn't say not playing, but I think I want less Ethan Morton, more other guys.
Okay.
On this team.
Who are the other guys?
Honestly, any of the other wing options, your cousin, Heidi, Colvin, like I want those guys.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that for sure. I'm just a little, I don't know. Like, what does a breakout even look like for Ethan Morton in like a best case world? He's not going to score 10 a game on this team anyway, right? So like, are we just be like playing at all?
I mean, I don't know if like he has a streak of like all academic teams or like sportsmanship, like award type things, but like just keeping those going.
Okay. All right. We get it. All right. So one guy on this list who's going to have the best season.
Best season. I'm gonna say Harrison Ingram. I'm gonna go with Harrison Ingram having the best season. I think Reese Beekman is going to be number one on Virginia's scouting report, and teams are going to throw like 5 guys at him because I don't know if any other guys can really do it for Virginia. I do like Ryan Dunn a lot, but I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I'm selling Virginia as a whole, which means I have to sell Reese Beekman. I'm going to buy back in on CJ Frederick. I'm going to do it.
Greg, how many times do you have to be hurt?
I'm going to do it. I have a type, man. I have a type. Look, Harrison Ingram probably should be my answer, but he's even in a breakout in his best case version. He's not a top 2 option on his team. So to me, that disqualifies you a little bit in the context of like, what's a breakout look like? Like he's not going to be RJ Davis or Armando Bacot, or maybe even Elliot Cadeau. Like it sounds like Cadeau is going to have the ball in his hands a ton. So CJ Frederick is on a Cincinnati roster that needs him to do a lot of things. Him and Seamus Lukosius.
That's a pretty fun wing combo.
It's a
I
really
can see why
fun
you're
wing
buying
combo,
it.
man.
I can see why
Yeah.
you're buying in. If they hit shots, that's a fun team.
I'm going to bet a lot of Cincinnati overs, I think, and we'll revisit a couple weeks into the season. All right, that was a really fun list. Shout out to Guy. Great work on the list, Guy. I know we put you on the hot seat earlier in the episode. You're not on the hot seat, Guy. We love you, and we want more critiques from you guys. So come in. If this video only does 300 views, though, we probably will throw that back in your face. We do reserve the right to do that.
And we will.
Moving
100% will.
Final topic of the day. I said I wanted to live workshop a bet with you today. This is a unique topic, and if you don't care about betting, you can probably tune this out. You can just turn off the show right now. But the NBA is back. You heard us talk about it earlier in the episode. We love betting NBA player props. I don't bet too much NBA. Like, I bet more college basketball. I bet college football as well. But I do think there's some really high value early in the NBA season that I have taken advantage of the past couple of years, specifically with guys who are going to be breakout players, guys who are clearly going to be better than they were last season or are rookies that could explode into big roles. And what I do is I bet alternate points card. Okay. We're not doing just their normal points props. That's safer. If you want the safe option, do it. I recommend it. But you can get guys to score 20 points or 15 points or 10 points that are going to be in pretty big roles at like plus 400 odds or better. So I have hand selected 7 players that have a game on Wednesday night that I think are worth putting into either a parlay and or a round robin to hit their alternate points lines. And I want you and I to craft this together, a little behind the curtains into what you and I look like on a Saturday afternoon when the first afternoon slate ends and we FaceTime and say, that was huge. Shout out to Florida State. It was always Klubnik. And then we move on. So let me read my 7 players and their odds tonight. And then you can just take it wherever you want. You'll take the baton and tell me where to go. First option I've identified is great value tonight. Jabari Smith plus 410 to score 20 points. Number 2, Jalen Duren to score 15 points at plus 400. Number 3, Chet Holmgren to score 20 points at plus 400. Number 4, Marcus Smart, new Memphis Grizzly, to score 20 points is plus 310. All these odds are at FanDuel Sportsbook, by the way. Number 5, Keegan Murray, my boy, to score 20 points plus 460. Number 6, Victor Wembanyama in his debut, 25 points plus 420. And last but definitely not least, Scoot Henderson, 20 points plus 460 odds. I love all 7 of these. Absolutely love them. We need to trim this down to 5 to put in a round robin that is profitable the way I like to bet round robins. What are your thoughts?
Okay, first off, love all these, honestly. If we could do all 7, I could find a way to do all 7. I'm going to name the ones that I love, not in order, but these are the ones that I absolutely love and can see happening, because of other factors as well. Jalen Duren to score 15 points. Jalen Duren is probably going to find himself on the floor with Cade Cunningham and Asar Thompson a lot, guys who like to get other guys easy shots. Jalen Duren is also a guy who feels disrespected that when bigs are considered for Team USA, everybody names Bam Adebayo first. That's why Jalen Duren went to USA Team minicamp, and he looked like he was one of the best bigs there. I could see him getting 15 points. He has showed he could stretch the floor a little bit, so you might even see some mid-range jumpers. But at worst, Jalen Duren is going to get maybe 6 points off offensive boards, maybe another 6 off just pick and rolls. And that's 12 right there. And you're telling me he can't get fouled a couple times, make some free throws, or get 1 or 2 more buckets. I really like that.
I feel like every highlight we saw, sorry to jump in, but I feel like every highlight we saw of Cade Cunningham this offseason was a lob to Jalen Duren. Like, yes. I think he might get 15 off dunks alone in this game.
Yes, easily. The next one that I love, Wemby, of course. Wemby on.
That's the one that scares me. 25?
See, but this is why it doesn't scare me though. It's prime time, and the Mavericks can't check a soul.
Remember what Wemby did in prime time his first preseason game, though. He was terrified.
He was, but then after that, he has dominated. And actually, that wasn't the first time he was on primetime. The first time he was on primetime, he scored 30 against Scoot Henderson in them.
But that might mean to me, I'm not fully convinced Wemby's a bright lights guy. Wemby's the greatest prospect in NBA history, and I think he's going to be the greatest player alive when it ends. I think he's going to be the best player in NBA history. But bright lights guy, we don't know. It's the first night. 25?
I also think he's not a bright lights. I think he is a bright lights guy. He's also playing the Mavericks, who can't check a soul, an absolute soul.
Okay.
I saw they let Real Madrid look good again. Like these guys can't check a soul.
Okay, so I want to lock in Duren. Duren's the core of this play. Okay. Wemby, I will put in a we think so bucket, but I'm not willing to lock that in yet until we talk through some of the others.
Okay, another lock. I feel like Marcus Smart, because he's gonna play. One, he's with his new team. Two, he's gonna play a lot. And I mean, the starting guards for the Pelicans, what is it? McCollum and Jose Alvarado.
I was really looking at like the Memphis roster, like who are going to be the offensive engines of the Memphis roster while Ja Morant is out and like Dillon Brooks is gone. They're not just going to give the ball to Desmond Bane and let him get out of the way. Like, how many times did Dillon Brooks get 20 just because like Ja Morant was not playing and Dillon Brooks had to do it? I think Marcus Smart's a lot better offensively than people give him credit for. So I love that play. There's probably a reason that's the lowest odds, but I'm willing to lock in Marcus Smart plus 310 to score 20 points as well.
And then I just find a hard time not putting Scoot in here. Is he not playing the most? I mean, are you scared that he maybe to get shots taken away by like Simons and Shaedon Sharpe and those other guys? But is he not going to play like 30 minutes?
So I love Scoot. I think Scoot's going to be great. And by like midway through the season, he's going to be scoring 20 nightly. So I'd be okay betting it. I do like role wise. It does like Simons could score 50 tonight. That might just be it. Like Simons is the first option on his team and he's good enough to get 40. I don't like betting a guy alongside him, but the value's good. So it's worth saying. I can't believe you have named 4 other names that aren't this name of the 7 I sent you. I thought this would be your very first one, Chet Holmgren.
I'm getting to it, my brother. I'm definitely getting to it.
Okay.
Chet, everyone's talking about Wemby and what he's going to do. Chet, you know, when you put I hate to do this, but I put the per 36, the per 40 numbers at play. Wemby and his stats, very, very similar. Everyone's talking about Wemby. Everyone's talking about Wemby this, Wemby that. Chet Holmgren will have Vucevic in hell. Cannot check him. He can't. And this Thunder team is really fun. They also do a lot of things for Chet too. Like as much as they have like other guys on this team, like Giddy and Shai Gilgeous do great pick and roll work with Chet. And Chet is able to pick and pop and able to do things. I think if I had to rank these right now in 1 to 4 order, and you could tell me that you don't like it or you like it, I think Jalen Duren be 1, Chet 2, Jabari Smith 3, and Marcus Smart 4.
Okay, I'm glad we're aligned because you hadn't mentioned Jabari yet. And so I was thinking that meant you wanted to move away from him. And I was preparing an argument to tell you we need Jabari Smith in this. I
missed Jabari. I missed Jabari on the first swipe through because I was just so focused on Jalen Duren only being 50. I might bet that by itself.
Yeah, I'm going to for sure. I'm going to for sure. Jabari Smith, I absolutely love tonight to score 20. He's playing the Magic. Now, Magic are good. Don't get me wrong, especially defensively. I think like Franz and Paolo are the guys who are going to match up with him. And that does scare me. Those are defenders that I care about. With that said, I do think Jabari is kind of wired in a like F y'all way. And I think it just took us an extra year to get where we thought we would get with Jabari. Like when he was coming out of college, you and I were like, there's no way this dude misses. And then he got there and he was just like tentative and nothing he did at the college level worked. For a lot of guys, if you hit that wall, you would run away from the wall. Like if you just realize the stuff that didn't work in college isn't working in the NBA, that would be the end of your career and it would slowly fizzle. With Jabari, he completely remolded everything this summer. Like he was the best player at Summer League and it wasn't close. Like it literally wasn't even a conversation. He was getting 40 every single game. So I think I I think he welcomes the opportunity of like, oh, some guys that people think are young, bright stars that are better than me at my position are my matchup tonight. I think there's a very good chance Jabari comes out and tries to get 30 tonight, not just 20. So, and honestly, Houston, from what I know about Houston, they don't care if they win the game, but I do think they just want their young players to score. Like I think Jalen Green and Jabari Smith are on 20 and 30 watch nightly for this team.
Yeah, I agree. I
Okay.
like that. All right. I like that we're aligned.
So we have those four. We have Jabari Smith 20. We have Jalen Duren 15. We have Chet 20. We have Marcus Smart 20. And then we need to pick one of Keegan Murray to get 20, Victor Wembanyama to get 25, or Scoot to get 20. We haven't talked Keegan. He's the only one on this list we haven't talked about. Any thoughts there?
I just don't like Keegan.
Is that my
And
bias getting in? That's my son.
I think so. I just don't. He's good. There's going to be games where he gets 20. I don't think it's going to be the first game of the season.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if we're playing the whole like vibes mental thing, he's not wired like a guy that would get 20 the way these other guys are. So
yeah, other people have to give Keegan a chance to get 20. He can't go out there with the mindset, I want to get 20.
Counterpoint, they're playing in Utah. And most players, when they go play in Utah, would be really uncomfortable. And like the altitude mixed with so many white people mixed with nothing to do would really like alter their games and their mentals. Like I bet De'Aaron Fox and like Malik Monk, if he's still on the Kings, I don't even know if he is, are pretty scared about this game. They're just like, yeah, I don't want to be here. I want to get in and out. Keegan Murray is so comfortable in a room full of white people at this point. Like he's going to thrive. He probably doesn't want to leave Salt Lake.
Hey, that's a great counterpoint, but I don't know. I still would rather throw Wemby in there as the last one.
So that means if it comes down to Wemby or Scoot, what are we doing? It's got to be Wemby, right? Like it's the fun bet. It's just Wemby.
Yeah. It's the last game. It's a 10:30 game. It always was. When we have done nothing but for the last 2 to 3 weeks text how this guy's a freak of nature.
I wish it was 20, not 25. But isn't there a chance he just comes out and scores like 38 and it's just like he's the greatest ever immediately?
Yeah. I mean, also like he could have a bad game and score 25.
Okay, that's what I needed to hear. I like that. So the official round robin of the day, Keegan Murray to get 20, Victor Wembanyama, or no, I'm sorry.
No, not
I'm reading backwards. Jabari Smith to get 20, Jalen Duren to get 15, Chet Holmgren to get 20, Marcus Smart to get 20, Victor Wembanyama to get 25. We'll do this throughout the season. We might not do full topics once college gets here because we'll have a lot to talk about, but we do send these to the Discord. We'll send this to the Discord as a sleepers play. And I think more importantly, I think we should bet these individually and then also do a little round robin.
Yeah, yes. And I'm like I said, that Jalen Duren play will be placed.
Yeah, I love it. All right. One big thing presented by Big B. What do you got today, Cart?
My one big thing is it is very underrated, the shower straight into bed combo, because I feel like I don't get it enough. I'm a 2 shower a day type of guy. Typically in the morning, I wake up, shower, and then I shower after the gym, but that necessarily doesn't go right to bed. Like the shower and get right into bed and go to sleep combo is so drastically underrated that I'm honestly considering upping my showers to 3 a day. But I feel like that might be a little bit aggressive. But I just wanted to let it be known, like when I got back from traveling all day yesterday, I took a shower and then got into bed. Heavens, it was a euphoric feeling. So that's my one big thing for today.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that a lot. Yeah, it's hard for me to shower at night now because I don't want to wake up the daughter. But I used to love that. It used to be a frequent part of my repertoire for sure.
Wait, why would a shower wake up Murph? Don't you got the noisemaker going and stuff?
Yeah, but it just, I don't know. You'd be surprised what that girl can hear through a noisemaker. Like, and we got the one, like either Mal's already asleep at night by the time I come to bed, so I don't want to wake her up in the bedroom shower, or we got the hallway shower, which is right by
literally right by there.
Yeah, it's tough. Anyways, my one big thing, this is something I've spent about, I don't know, probably 5 hours thinking about in the last 2 days. It's really been like counterproductive. Like it's halted me from doing things throughout the day that I should be doing. I don't understand why UCLA's basketball colors are baby blue and yellow, and their football colors are baby blue and gold. I can't process it. It hurts.
Is that a real thing?
Baby blue and yellow is such a perfect combination. The basketball jerseys are timeless. But if you watch UCLA football, Carter, they're baby blue and they're wearing gold pants with gold helmets and gold face masks and gold accents. They don't even use yellow. There's no trace of yellow within the football program.
Why have I never noticed this?
I don't know, but I've been losing sleep. I've literally spent 5.5 hours in the last 2 days just frustrated at this. Baffling.
Wait, you're completely right about this.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
It's a massive missed opportunity is what it is. Blue and yellow, baby blue and yellow, arguably a top 2 color combo there is in sports. And we're just out here throwing gold around. Like gold needs more shine. Really? That's what we're thinking UCLA.
Bro, even the UCLA baseball jerseys have yellow in them.
I don't get it. I really don't get it. I mean, UCLA football has never been relevant since I've been alive. So like maybe do a color change, see what happens.
Yeah, they need to fix that. That's annoying.
Look what you're giving up here. Look at this. Look how beautiful that is. It's beautiful. Try it, UCLA. Okay, that's it for me. Good show today. Whew. Go green, go white, baby. Exhibition tonight. We'll be back on Thursday. Thanks for watching the Sleepers podcast. Join the Discord. Shout out to our list guy. We'll see you Thursday.